What's up, guys? Stock here again. I guess these are some tips for those of you out there who understand what I mean when I say battle. But uh, at any rate, when I talk about battle, it's anything that you know about yourself that you need to get rid of, or you gotta change, or something's gotta happen, something's gotta give, and you know that just not doing anything or just doing the same thing that you've been doing isn't gonna suffice, and if that's the case, then welcome to battle, because you need to figure out what you want to battle first. It's kind of almost like a game in a sense, but the idea here is to not lose, because this is not the virtual world. This is the real world, and to lose is to affect more than just yourself, other people, and to affect maybe your job, maybe whatever is intertwined with the battle that you're facing. So, for me personally, tip number one would have to be start small. And don't try and go off the deep end, so to speak, because yeah, that's terrible. That's pretty crazy. Don't be like me. Try to go straight off to Pride and Ego, and then fight every single thing that Pride and Ego consists of, comprises of, or is intertwined with that which is Pride and Ego, and that is why it took so long for me to conquer that. It took me a few years, but that leads me to tip number two. Tip number two, of course, is to never assume that it's going to be a quick battle. It's just like in the battles of history, the Civil War or whatever. Nobody can put a date as to how long the battles would last, how long the war would last. The point being that you want to win the war, but a lot of times, just one battle that we face inside of ourselves, it's kind of like a war. That's how long it lasts. It lasts years, and it's probably habits or bad things that we've been doing for years. Not 4 years, but FOR, 4 years. And it's situated there, and it's difficult because when we do stuff that is negative or bad, or stuff that people just don't like at all, we kind of gain what I like to call a negative stigma. That's when people say first impressions are the most important. That's kind of what they mean. If you make if you make a bad first impression, that's kind of like the beginning of giving somebody negative stigma, giving them a negative view of you. And if that just keeps on persisting over and over again, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, etc., 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 then negative stigma builds up where they just come to expect all that you show them, all that you give them. And if you're just giving them shit, like all the time, every time, like not literally giving them shit, but you're just giving them no reason to see anything good in you as a human being, then that's all they're gonna ever see. And when you times it by X amount of years, and you come to the point where I was at a few years ago, and you're like, okay, so I need to make some changes, I need to do this and that, and I gotta get rid of some stuff and upgrade some stuff. Okay, let's start with Pride and Ego. Even though you go into battle, you cannot really put a time or date on when the battle is gonna end, or how long it's gonna last. Who's gonna come in and out of battle? Who's gonna be on your side? How much people you can have with you when you enter battle? You can't put a number on any of those things. Those are all variables. And at the same time, you can't put a number or a time period or how much or how little effort you have to do to change negative stigma in other people's eyes about you. So, with that being said, it's better that you are able to clearly and consciously think before you act and speak early on in life. Because a lot of times, some of the people from early on in life are still with you in your life now. And with negative stigma, that's just them like having a really bad view on you. And when you start to care, because not so long ago I didn't really give a shit. I just did what I did, no more shame. Go out of the house, dress whatever I like, however I dress. Walk whatever way I want to walk. I don't care. And that's terrible because your image and your reputation in the eyes of the public goes down. And of course, I mean, if your mentality is still like high school, obviously you don't care. You're just gonna walk around like, oh, what a big man, But when you grow, when you get grown, that's pretty much all you got is the respect that other people give you, your career which you're prideful about, or you try to be, you paying bills and stuff, you're making it on by in life, your friends and your family, and your image, how you look in the public, and when I started to realize that, I was like, oh damn, well, I done screwed up big time. I was like, shoots, okay, I gotta make this right. And then he can go to every single person and seek them out after the fact, years later, and be like, oh, I'm so sorry, please forgive me, go on your knees, and oh, for all those times, oh, forgive me. You know, I mean, it's not like you can do that. So the next best thing you can do is, well, you know, you can repent, of course, and you can make sure you never do it again. But in order to break those years' worth of habits, to never do it again, you gotta enter battle. You cannot just, whoop, and expect, oh, no, the whole 10 years of habits is all gone when I clap my hands, stomp my feet, and go, whoop, because this is not how it works, you know? If like I said before in the past log, if that's how it works, everybody gonna be clapping their hands, stomping their feet, and going, whoop, but that's not how it works. So that's why I like to coin the phrase enter battle, because you literally are entering battle with yourself, against yourself, somebody who knows you, because it is you. You're facing yourself in battle. If you can't beat yourself in battle, you have no right to beat anybody else. Why the hell you beating anybody else? You can't even beat yourself. That's a shame. But then again, you know, when I was, you know, a few years ago, you know, you don't see it that way. Some people even today, you know, twice my age or whatever, they still don't see it that way. They still don't get it, you know, and it sticks. And, you know, some of the older generation people, they're telling me that after you hit age 30, if you ain't done no changes, it sticks permanently. It's Kaiser Permanente. Not to, you know, advertise for them, but I just want to say that because I am dry humor. But, you know, so I'm just worried that I want to up myself as best as I can as a human being by the time I hit that marker. And boom, everything that's second nature is exactly what needs to be second nature. It's habit. Boom, boom, boom. You know? And until then, I'll be, fighting it off, man. Every single time, every single day. But, you know, that's what it's about. You got to be able to persevere and find a way to make it into a challenge that's fun. You know? And that's also another tip right there. That's tip number 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, 6, however many tips I just gave you right there. But, you know, that's, for me, perseverance is just making fun where there is no fun. Being able to be the master of fun and create your own fun generated out of thin air. You know, for me, when you're in battle every single day trying to build up positive habits and get rid of negative ones by consistently doing it via repetition on a daily basis, in the public, at home, or whatever, it's not easy, you know? So what you need to do is you got to be able to try and make it fun for yourself so that you can enjoy doing it. Because let's be real, as human beings, if we don't enjoy doing something, we ain't going to do it for very long. You know, if we don't reap any benefits to our hard work after a set amount of time, we're not going to want to keep doing it. We're going to lose interest and we're not going to do it at all. That's just how it is. That's how it is. You know, so what I feel I can do is to kind of not really trick my mind because my mind's in charge of it the whole time, but to kind of just tweak it and make it into something where I'm enjoying doing it. And then if I do it X amount of times, repetitiously, day after day after day after day, maybe let's just say 6 months straight, then it becomes something like this where it's like, oh wow, cool, let's keep doing it. You know, it becomes habit, it becomes normal. But Stock here is saying that these are tips for those of you guys who understand what I mean when I say battle. You know, if you guys care to work on yourself or improve yourself or do whatever, or you're thinking of the ideas of doing it or whatnot, start small. Don't try to go straight off the deep end and, you know, try to bite the whole tiger shark's head off when the thing is 14 feet long and weighs almost a ton. Oh, good luck with that. The skin is like sandpaper. But, you know, yeah, that. And start small, of course. Like, for example, here's a prime example right here. You know, like, just say, like, well, I'm going to brush my teeth before I go to bed. And make that into a habit. Of course, not all of us brush our teeth before we go to bed. Not all of us take a shower before we go to bed. So that's starting small. Just, you know, I'll brush my teeth before I go to bed. I'll just remember when I get home, because I get home at like 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning. Brush my teeth before I go to bed. Take a shower before I go to bed. You know? And then eventually, when you do that for X amount of time, it becomes habit. And then start to get a little bit more difficult, increase in difficulty, until you start to be able to handle the pressure and the stress of taking on something bigger. Because you've practiced with the smaller ones and you've conquered the smaller ones. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to try and take on the whole damn thing. You want to do some small skirmishes here and there first. You ain't trying to take on the whole main army. That's just ridiculous. You don't know the numbers or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, enough with that. I will catch you guys later. So if you guys have anything you guys want me to talk about more, because goodness sake. Yeah. Yeah, well, if you guys want me to talk about anything more, it's right on down there. And I will catch you guys later. As always, stay funky, brass monkeys. Stay chill, wasabis. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Shoots.